you ain't got enough sense to set up next to poison hemlock, you ain't got enough sense for me to listen to. And I'd say it's an ingestion poisoning. So unless you see me eat this, dumbass, unless you see me eat this or try to extract it by making a tincture or something, or a salve, I'm okay. So the reason my bug out bag can be so light is because I rely on a system of caches. And basically I think about everything that I could possibly need, and rather than carry it on my back, I pre-stage it in locations along my route and in alternate places that I just need to get to. And me getting to that place is facilitated by having less weight on my back. So a system of caches is one of the most crucial parts of my system, other than having an alternate bug-in location that's stocked as well. And there are a number of different containers that you can use. You just need to think about, something that's durable and something that's waterproof. And of course, so that I can lay this stuff out and show you, I don't have it completely waterproof the way I would before I buried this cache or placed this in the forest or what have you, however you go about hiding it. But there are a few options that I think are really good that I typically use for my caches. This one obviously is not being used for a cache because it's got stickers all over it. You don't have to have that. But this type of case, this Pelican style case, has a good O-ring style rubber seal in it. They seal up really well and they're extremely durable. So this is one that I'd be comfortable in placing somewhere or even burying. So that is a good option, and it's plastic, it's polymer, so it's not going to rust over time. Another option that you could use is pretty simple and inexpensive. You can get these at most surplus stores, but this is just a regular military ammo can. Again, waterproof as well, but the container is a painted steel. So any compromise in the integrity of that paint and you're exposing that steel over time, it's going to rust. So it may not be as durable as this, but it's definitely a lot less expensive. So that's another option that you could use. And again, you're not always burying caches. There's a lot of opportunity, especially in urban areas, to where you can place a cache kind of in plain sight, if you will, but you're hiding it in a place that's not commonly going to be found, not a high traffic area. So that's another thing to consider. I also make kind of custom PVC tubes, black PVC tubes, and this has been a really versatile system, versatile setup that I've used to emplace caches, especially the ones that I plan on burying. And what this is this is Charlotte pipe. This is, I think, 4-inch PVC, and this you can scale up or down to what you're actually placing inside the cache. But this example is 4-inch PVC. I've got some drain cleanouts that I've glued onto this, and of course I put the drain plugs, which are just threaded. I put the drain plugs that are threaded in there. I can put stuff inside here, and then I can seal that up, seal the threads, and then I've got a watertight container. All right. So, and again, this can be scaled. This particular one is 4-inch, so some of the stuff that I'm showing you won't fit in here, but I could use larger and larger PVC pipes. The system is still the same. Now, you can simply use a regular cap on one end and put your threaded drain on the other, but I choose to put it on both ends. And the reason being is you cannot just place a cache and leave it and forget about it. You have to service these caches. I would recommend at least once a year go check on them to make sure everything's still good inside them. Things that you put in here may have expiration dates, and that's something that you need to manage as a prepper. But another thing that I'll do is anything that I'm putting inside one of these or one of these is I'll vacuum seal that. If it's metal, I'll put some sort of a lubricant on that to prevent rust, some sort of corrosion protection. Vacuum seal that, place it inside the cache. And then what I do is I put oxygen absorbers or desiccant packets, whatever you plan to use. I'll put those on both ends of the cache before I seal it up. And then when I go to actually service these, all I have to do is open up both ends. Typically what I'm going to do is check the contents really quick, but if there's nothing in here that is something that I'm worried about corrosion, I don't have to unpack the contents to simply unscrew both ends, replace the replace the oxygen absorbers in both ends and put the caps back on. So if you have a lot of caches to service, it's just a time saver. Yeah, it's a little more expensive, but it's not that much more expensive. I'll take the convenience over that. If you plan on burying your cache a specific way, if you want to go vertically because you're worried about someone finding it, you want to make the signature a little more reduced. If they're using mine detectors, using metal detectors, which is also a mine detector, then you may not have to do that. You may be able to vary it vertically, only put your drain on one side. But I put them on both. Make yours however you want to make these. These are DIY things, okay? Sweet mother.
It's like amateur hour over here.
What is the little tiny peep? Your shit.